It's a rare sight to see, so many of the family returning home at the same time. Ah, you just missed Mirabelle. She was heading back to the sanctuary in such a hurry we barely had time to talk.
Why was Mirabelle in such a hurry?
I think she was on her way back from a scouting mission. Something to do with Count Carolus of Kvatch, as far as I could ascertain. Mirabelle mentioned she had to convince Astara, and then she was off, heading in the direction of the sanctuary.
She was spying on the Count?
Spying, scouting, when you think about it, is there really any difference? Oh, I almost forgot. Astara was asking about you. I'd return to the sanctuary and see what the matron wants if I were you.
I'll head to the sanctuary and speak to Astara.
You're too close to this one, Mirabelle. Besides, the speaker has already decided.
Too close? They killed Simbar, Astara. I'm going to be a part of this whether you give the command or not.
Assassin, it's time to collect a payment past due.
Of course, but why was Mirabelle so upset?
Mirabelle's outburst doesn't concern you, Assassin. Focus on the task at hand. Count Carolus still owes us for the sacrament. He claimed to have information about the Black Dragon. Meet him at the ruins of Dossick Moor and find out what he knows.
When does he want to meet at the ruins?
We're not sure, but that's where he requested to meet. He has a camp there which he's using for his own clandestine purposes. Before you go, talk to Mirabelle. She has information concerning the Count that could prove useful to your mission.
I'll talk to Mirabelle before I head out.
Don't dawdle, Assassin. I gave you a job and I expect you to handle it.
Before I go and speak with her, can you tell me what Mirabelle was so upset about?
Curiosity isn't a trait I encourage, especially when it comes to matters inside the sanctuary. Still, you'll find out soon enough, I'm sure. Mirabelle has allowed Tanick's injury and the deaths of Simbar and the others to make her emotional.
What do you mean, emotional?
The deaths hit her hard, especially Simbar's. She craves revenge and it's making her anxious, reckless. That's dangerous for an assassin. We need to be cold, precise, calculated. The heat of emotion leads to mistakes, and that gets people killed.
Was Mirabelle close to Simbar?
As close as any lovers can be, I suppose. The recent deaths visited upon us have affected Mirabelle, but Simbar's torture and murder, that one has left a mark. It has made her emotional, which is never a good thing in our business.
Right.
Astara just gave you my mission, didn't she? Well, I can't say I'm surprised.
Astara said you had information for me.
Did she? So I get to do all the work and you wind up with all the glory? I'm getting a little tired of sticking to the shadows all the time. I'm sorry. Was there something else you wanted from me? Excuse my attitude, but you have to understand. Simbar. Anyway, I've been hunting the Black Dragon, on my own. I got so close I could hear her voice, but I had to break off the hunt. I didn't want to wind up dead, you understand? Well, right. I suppose that sounds cowardly to you, our newest assassin. The pride and joy of the matron and the speaker both. Your blade never dulls, does it, assassin?
Why didn't Astara give you this mission?
Isn't it obvious? She thinks I've lost my perspective. That I'm too sad or angry or whatever to do the job I've done 100 times before. Just promise that you won't tell Astara about any of this. She already thinks I'm reckless enough as it is.
I'll keep your secret.
I appreciate your discretion. If Astara knew what I've been up to, she'd confine me for my own protection. We're assassins, damn it. We don't need protection.
I'll go and speak to the Count.
One more thing. The last time I tracked the Black Dragon, I followed her past the Dosic Moor ruins toward the old enclave of the Hourglass before I turned back. Make sure the Count tells you what he knows about the Order of the Hour's old haunt.
Thanks for the information.
Don't dawdle, assassin. I gave you a job and I expect you to handle it.
I'm not used to being ordered about by a clandestine organization, so let's get this over with. I'd prefer to conclude our business and forget all about that dreadful ritual I had to perform.
It's time to pay what you owe. Tell me about the Black Dragon.
I already told your associate everything I know. The woman with the dark hair and the staff. Mirabelle, I believe she said her name was. Do I really need to repeat myself to every assassin that slips out of the shadows?
I need you to tell me everything.
Of course. I assume you don't know the Black Dragon is the first sword of the Order of the Hour. My spies report they're amassing an army at the Enclave of the Hourglass. Siege weapons, new recruits. They threaten Kvatch and the Brotherhood alike.
Your contract is paid in full.
If that's everything, I'd like to get back on my horse and return to Castle Kvatch. If I'm gone too long, I suspect Primate Artorius will go ahead and change all the locks.
A few more questions before you leave.
Oh, very well. What's a few more moments when I get to spend it with a deadly assassin? What else would the Brotherhood like to know?
Tell me more about the Enclave of the Hourglass.
My spies watched the Order's old headquarters from this camp. Saw supply carts start arriving a few days ago. If you want to weaken the Order, destroy their siege weapons and stop them from initiating more recruits. You'll be doing us both a favor.
Where are these new recruits coming from?
The Primate offered pardons to any Red Sails pirates who agreed to take the vows of the Order. Since Fortunata's death, they've been flocking to the Enclave. I wish I knew what Artorius was planning to do with an army of priests and pirates.
I thought the Order of the Hour worked for you.
Whatever gave you that idea? The Order is a company of warrior priests, dedicated to protecting the Cathedral of Akatosh. At least that's how they started. Now they recruit anyone who can wield a sword. I agreed to expand their authority, but...
You allowed militant priests to have free run of Kvatch.
My back was against the wall. Between Anvil's aggressive overtures and the rampant increase in murders, I needed help. Primate Artorius offered the Order, and I reluctantly agreed. That was before I learned the Black Dragon was one of their number.
Is there anything else you can tell me about the Black Dragon?
Just that the Black Dragon is one of the deadliest warriors I've ever seen. Wears armor as dark as oblivion and twice as frightening. Even makes the rest of the Order nervous. Right after I received the first reports about her, the murders began.
Any idea why Warrior of the Order would be murdering members of the Dark Brotherhood?
Not a clue. We only suspected that the murder victims were members of your guild recently, so my spies never even explored that line of questioning. No offense, but if the lot of you wound up destroying each other, I wouldn't lose any sleep over it. By the Ruby Throne, stop doing that! I've told you everything I know. The Order of the Hour has increased its numbers by offering pardons to Fortunata's pirates, and the Black Dragon can be found in the Enclave of the Hourglass. Now, leave me be!
Goodbye.
Assassin, over here. Assassin, I hoped I might run into you here.
Mirabelle, what are you doing here?
Who do you think you are to question my actions? If you must know, Astara sent me to look into the Order of the Hour's activities. Siege weapons, new recruits. They're building an army out here.
Astoria sent you here.
Saw right through that, did you? Astara didn't send me. That was a lie. I'm here without contract or permission. I know this might be hard for you to understand, but I need to do this. For Simbar.
What exactly are you planning to do?
Just one thing. I need to find the Black Dragon and make her pay for what happened to Simbar. I heard her voice and I'd recognize it anywhere. Are you going to stand in my way?
You shouldn't face the Black Dragon alone.
I don't expect you to understand, and I don't want your help. Those siege weapons and other preparations the Order is making, by the way. You should do whatever you can to destroy them and disrupt their operations.
I disrupt their preparations if I can.
And the pardons we were promised? Much of my crew is wanted for crimes throughout the Gold Coast and beyond.
Everyone who joins the Order has their offenses absolved, both religiously and legally. We're about to initiate Captain Zayas' crew now, by the way.
I'll take word of your fair offer to my crew. After I observe the initiation, if you're all right with that.
There's a lot to do.
Nothing is certain until it happens. Gold may be the root of evil. I always forgive my enemies, but I remember their names.
9 times out of 10, the cynics are right.
Prove yourself, initiates. To me, warriors of Akatosh!
Next job better bring
Take
a lot
the
of
goblet of blood and drink deep. You'll answer for that.
I don't like change, especially without my consent.
I mostly kill people who kill people, because killing is wrong. Where is that happening?
Wasting time is an important part of life.
I'm unarmed. May we speak before you kill me? It seems you have me at a disadvantage, but you don't have to be afraid of me. Put away your weapons, and I'll help you in whatever way I can.
Tell me where I can find the Black Dragon.
The Black Dragon! How brave of you to seek the most powerful warrior in our order. I can show you where her chambers are, if you like. You know, the Black Dragon was a lot like you once, before she sought redemption. Very much the same, I see. The Black Dragon was an assassin, a member of the Dark Brotherhood, until she had enough of following the commands of others. You're pretty good at that. Silence can be very intimidating. In the right hands, of course. Come, I'll take you to the Black Dragon's chambers, and you can meet her for yourself. Stay close. The Black Dragon's chambers are behind that door. Follow me. Huh. Looks like we're all alone.
I haven't felt drawn to this journal in a long time, but recent events seem to have made me long for those days when I was truly happy. When I had a family that loved and trusted me. Not like these men and women of the Order. They respect me. They fear me. But they don't love anyone other than the Dragon God. And maybe Primate Artorias. Before I donned the armor of the Black Dragon, I was simply a silencer for the Dark Brotherhood. Now I'm the Black Dragon, silencer of the Dark Brotherhood, and First Sword of the Order of the Hour. It's not a role I chose for myself. No, it's a role that the Brotherhood has thrust upon me. And one I happen to be very good at. The woman known as Lyra died at my hands. It was my last act as part of the Dark Brotherhood, my last act in a sanctuary now long forgotten. After that, I was no one and nothing for a time. Until I found the Order and became the Black Dragon. I'm trying to find redemption in service of Akatosh, but has anything really changed? I'm still a murderer. I still feel damned. But now I'm killing those individuals marked for death by Akatosh himself, or at least, by his chosen representatives in Tamriel. I suppose that's some kind of improvement. Once I was cocksure and confident in my deeds and actions. This was true in the Dark Brotherhood, until it wasn't, and it was true as the Black Dragon. Now, however, I find that I'm filled with a sort of discontent that makes me do something I've never been really good at, asking questions. I need to think about this and perhaps have another conversation with the Primate.
Psst! Assassin! Up here! I'm waiting for the Black Dragon.
Setting a trap for the dragon. Is that the idea?
Wait, who's that with you?
I am death, you silly fool! We'll meet again, assassin, and next time I'll be ready to deal with you.
Don't mourn for me, assassin. I've always dreamed of the void. I'll see Simbar and the Dread Father soon. But you need to warn Astara. The Black Dragon is...
So, Assassin, was the Count's information worth all the trouble he put us through?
The Count told me that the Black Dragon is the First Sword of the Order.
The Black Dragon is one of the Order. That puts everything that she's done to us in a new perspective. What else did you uncover?
The Order of the Hour is using the Red Sails pirates to bolster its numbers?
The Grand Sermonizer, the Chanters, now an army of religious warriors. It seems the priests of Akatosh have declared war against the Dark Brotherhood. Were you able to learn anything else about the Black Dragon?
The Black Dragon and the Order have turned the old enclave of the Hourglass into a headquarters.
So the Count was using the ruins of Dossick Moor to spy on the Order of the Hour? Now if we only had some idea as to who's inside the Black Dragon's armor.
She's a woman named Lyra. She may have been a member of the Brotherhood. I recovered her journal.
One of our brothers and sisters? I don't recognize the name, but there are other sanctuaries. Why would our sister hunt us? And why work for the Order of the Hour? Where's Mirabelle? I need her to do some digging.
Mirabelle is dead. The Black Dragon killed her.
You encountered the Black Dragon? And you survived? But Mirabelle, why was she even there? I knew her recklessness was going to get her killed. And now we face a greater threat. For all that you've learned, there's still so much we don't know.
I was able to sabotage a number of the Order's preparations.
You did well to disrupt the Order's preparations, and your reward includes a bonus to reflect that. I just wish we hadn't lost another sister along the way. But that's all for now, Assassin. Speaker Tyrannus and I have much to discuss. The Black Dragon has struck again. Mirabelle is dead.
This happened during the Assassin's mission. Did we learn anything? Or did Mirabelle die in vain?
We learned that the Black Dragon is the first sword of the Order of the Hour. We recovered her journal and discovered her true name, Lyra.
Lyra. Allow me to study the journal, and its secrets will be revealed.
I can't think of anyone better for the task, brother.
I'll dig into the Black Dragon's journal immediately.
See that you do.
I wonder, Assassin, do you have a moment to consider a request? That journal you recovered, the contents are disturbingly intriguing. You reported that my old associate, Lyra Viria, is the Black Dragon. The journal, however, claims the Black Dragon killed Lyra. I need to determine the truth of this matter.
Tell me about the Lyra you knew.
Lyra was the most skilled of my brothers and sisters. I assumed she died in the purification of my former sanctuary, along with the rest of my old family. If the Black Dragon killed Lyra, why does she use her name? Curiouser and curiouser.
What do you want to do?
I want to pretend I never read that journal, but I can't resist a mystery. The Black Dragon killed Lyra and destroyed my former sanctuary. Or Lyra is the Black Dragon. Either way, I need to know the truth. Will you come with me, Assassin?
I'll go with you.
I'll arrange our transport to my former sanctuary. Meet me near the gates of Anvil when you are ready to depart. And thank you for agreeing to help me.
Where is your former sanctuary exactly?
Not far. Just over the border into Black Marsh, as a matter of fact. I haven't been back there in many years. I wonder what we'll find when we finally get there.
You said something about purification.
Purification. That's what they called it. I suppose the term is accurate. Betrayal and corruption festered in our ranks, though I'm not sure what the source was or why it happened. The Black Hand decreed a systematic cleansing was the solution.
Why weren't you killed?
Another excellent question. I'm going to record that for later. But as for the answer, I was working deep in Black Marsh during that season. Whatever the rest of my sanctuary did to anger the Black Hand, it was obvious that I had no part in it.
Why would the Black Dragon use your friend's name?
Perhaps the Black Dragon took Lyra's name as some sort of trophy. Or maybe she adopted it to confuse us. Regardless, I thought Lyra perished along with the rest of my brothers and sisters. I thought I alone had been spared.
Hasn't the Black Dragon destroyed your old sanctuary?
I'm not sure what to believe, but the Black Dragon certainly implies that in her journal. Whatever the case, only a master assassin could accomplish something as far-reaching as purification. The Black Dragon's skills clearly mark her as such.
You're sure you want to return there?
I abhor a mystery. If I have to confront my past to shed light on the present, then so be it. At least I won't be alone. With you by my side, I am sure I can face whatever secret the purified sanctuary may contain.
Does Astara know we're going to do this?
As much as I admire curiosity, sometimes your questions can be somewhat irritating. The matron asked me to research the journal and give her a report. My research requires that we visit my former sanctuary. All in the line of duty, as it were.
Shouldn't we let her know where we are going?
Should I go and tell Astara that I am taking her best recruit to a place the Dark Brotherhood destroyed and abandoned, so that we can uncover the truth of the Black Dragon? I'd say no. Let's not do that. She'll hear about it soon enough, anyway.
Until later.
This horse and cart will get us to Blackwood, where Cyrodiil flows into Black Marsh. Climb aboard when you are ready. We can wait if you still have things to do before we depart.
What do we do after we get to Blackwood?
You ask the most interesting questions. Let me jot that down. After we get to Blackwood, Shazara Ta will take us up the river to Sanctuary. Don't worry. Shazara Ta's an excellent boat handler. She knows those rivers like the tip of her tail.
Let's go.
Good to see you again.
I haven't walked these marshes in a long, long time. Strange, but it doesn't feel like coming home. I never was able to learn much about the purification. Even the listener refused to talk about it. She did say that the Black Hand can call for purification in extreme circumstances. I just wish I knew what made the purge necessary. This time, though, I think we'll learn something I never knew. At least, I hope we will. Here we are. Keep your eyes open. The sanctuary may be abandoned, but such places never stay quiet for long. Let us go inside. Ah, the black door. Still intact after all these years. No worries. I'll remember the proper reply.
What is the gift of death?
Solace, my brother.
Welcome home.
Have you ever seen as the Hist sees? Have you ever looked beyond the barrier of time? We're going to need to see with more than our eyes to find the truth in this place.
How do we do that?
Another excellent question. Keep them coming, assassin. I believe in preparing for every contingency, so I brought along this resin. When burned, its fumes reveal things that are hidden from our feeble eyes.
What do you need me to do?
Can't you sense it? We are not alone in here. I'll need you to deal with anything that tries to stop us, while I keep the flame burning.
Wasn't this sanctuary abandoned?
Didn't I explain that already? Let me check my notes. Interesting. The sanctuary was abandoned by the living, yes. But it still holds many dark secrets. Secrets even the resin may not reveal. We should be on our guard.
Then let's do this.
Then let me light the flame. Breathe deep and let the resin open your eyes. It might be When the Black Hand sealed the sanctuary, I had no idea they left the bodies where they fell. Let's see what the resin reveals.
Lyra? Is something wrong, sister?
I'm sorry it's come to this, brother.
What are you doing? No, Lyra! Stop!
Lyra. assassins. Another dead associate. Another piece of this sorry puzzle.
Traitor! I'm not the one who betrayed my brothers and sisters.
The Black Hand would never sanction this. I don't believe it.
You don't need to believe it. You simply need to die!
Clarity blooms through the fog of the Hist, but to be charged with such a terrible task. Walking these halls reminds me of the story they used to tell to scare the initiates. The tale of the wrath of Sithis.
Fan out!
This place
What? Are those tears? Executioners aren't supposed to cry, Lyra. Come, plunge your blade into my heart. If Sithis calls for me, I will gladly leap into the void. When we are called, we must obey.
You really believe that? Even now, you think this insanity has some sort of meaning?
Purpose and meaning are illusions for the masses. But we know the truth, Lyra. Now strike and send me home.
In the old stories, the wrath of Sithis appeared to carry away the souls of traitors. If that's true, I wonder why purification was even necessary. Another set of remains. I hope this is the last.
Wait, Lyra, you know me. I'd never betray the Brotherhood.
I do know you, Annalise, but my orders are clear.
Please, there has to be another way.
If only that were true. Goodbye, sister.
She completed the purification of her own sanctuary. I can't even imagine what that must have done to her. How terrible. Lyra was ordered to purify her own sanctuary, to kill her own brothers and sisters. I never even imagined.
What do you think all this means?
It means I was kept in the dark about the purification. I understand why they thought that was necessary, but it doesn't change the fact that I had to learn the truth on my own. Lyra didn't die in the Purge. She was the Black Hand sword.
But what happened after that? And what's the connection between Lyra and the Black Dragon?
That still eludes me. Obviously, the Black Dragon wants us to believe that she and Lyra are one and the same. But I can't imagine Lyra turning her back on the Night Mother, on Sithis. There is a piece missing from this puzzle. I just know it.
So how do we find this missing piece of the puzzle?
After Lyra completed the purification, she would have gone to the shrine of Sithis to make an offering and pray over her success. It was her usual ritual. Let's visit the shrine and see if any images remain of that moment in time.
Okay.
Look, I was right. There is another memory to see.
Dread Father, can you hear me? Do you see what they forced me to do? Was this truly your will? Did Mother really command this? I did as I was told, but it still feels wrong. Please, Dread Father, talk to me. Were all these deaths truly what you wanted?
Allow me to assure you, child. You have done exactly as you were commanded.
Speaker, I didn't know you were here.
Another sacrament has been performed. You must go to the city of Kvatch and eliminate Jonas, the primate of Akatosh.
But Speaker, my family, I need time to...
Your family? Such personal attachments are beneath you. Remember who you really are. Ruthless, ambitious. You are my silencer, my weapon.
Yes, Speaker. I remember. I'll go to Kvatch immediately.
Well, wasn't that revealing? I might have to find other uses for these wonderful fumes. It appears that not only did Lyra complete the purification of our old sanctuary as she was commanded, but she also took on another contract when she was done.
I saw, but who is Primate Jonas?
Before his grandness Artorius ascended to the top of the religious hierarchy, Primate Jonas was the tip of the tower as far as Akatosh's followers were concerned. There were rumors, but this proves that Jonas didn't succumb to natural causes.
But why is Lyra working for the Order now?
An excellent question. If the Black Dragon really is Lyra, I'll kill the traitor myself. Meet me in Kvatch, assassin. I have a little resin remaining. With it, we might be able to determine what occurred during Lyra's final contract.
Bye.
Shazara Ta will return you to the Gold Coast. I'll meet you in front of Akatosh's cathedral in Kvatch, after I pay my respects to these memories. I can't explain it, but I have a feeling that this is the place. Perhaps a residual effect of breathing so much of the fumes. I've only enough resin left for a few more precious seconds. So let's hope I'm right about this location.
I'm ready if you are.
Then breathe deep of the resin's fumes one last time. Let's see if we can learn the fate of my lost sister, Lyra.
Put away your weapon, child. We have much to discuss. You feel lost, without purpose. But the opposite is true. Everything has led you to me.
Oh, really? I just see another witness that needs to be silenced.
I performed the sacrament that brought you here. Not because Primate Jonas needed to die, but because the Dragon God wanted us to join forces.
Join forces? I don't understand.
You need to turn away from the void and step into the light. Join me, and together we'll walk the path to redemption.
Redemption? I'm a murderer. There's no redemption for someone like me.
Nonsense, child. Akatosh performs more impressive miracles than that all the time. We just need to turn your talents to the holy work of the Dragon God. Become my champion, a sword of Akatosh, my black dragon that burns away evil's darkness.
Yes, I see it now. I pledge my blade and my life to you and to Akatosh. Show me the way.
The visions don't lie. The fumes confirmed my worst fears. Lyra abandoned the Dark Brotherhood and became the Black Dragon. She betrayed us all.
I know you were hoping we were wrong about Lyra.
Lyra Viria died the day the Black Dragon was born, just as the journal said. My friend is gone. All that remains is another enemy of the Dark Brotherhood. An enemy that will die by my hand.
It sounds like the Black Dragon serves Primate Artorias.
And that's the information we need to convey to Astara. Servant and Master both need to be dropped into the void for daring to strike against us.
Bye.
Let's return to the Sanctuary and tell Astara what the fumes revealed. I'll meet you there.
Of course I know where you went, Venom. If I didn't intend for that to happen, you'd be a backpack by now. Tell me what you uncovered.
All evidence points to one conclusion. Lyra is the Black Dragon, and she's working for Primate Artorias.
The Black Dragon was one of us. She knows how we think, how we act. Artorias uses our own weapon against us.
Give me the order, Matron. Let my blade be the one that ends the Black Dragon's life.
Patience, brother. Let me consider the ramifications. Your connection to Lyra could be a boon in this matter, but it could also be a detriment. Ah, here comes our assassin. Back from the wilds of Black Marsh, I see. Come, let's talk. Green Venom Tongue gave me his report on your little jaunt. What you discovered shows how the past sometimes comes back to haunt us. Since this concerns the Primate, Speaker Tyrannus and the Black Hand will determine our next move.
You're not angry? We never actually received permission to go to Venom's former sanctuary.
Would you prefer punishment to praise, Assassin? Let the Black Hand decide how we navigate these troubled waters. For now, work your contracts, sharpen your skills. The Black Dragon will pay for her transgressions, as will her master, Artorias.
Right.